So before we dive into this topic, do me a favor, drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. You already know who it is, man. It's your boy, Reggie. Now, last weekend, Deion Sanders and Colorado, they defeated TCU. Now, Deion Sanders, man, in his post-game interview, he got a little bit spicy, right, with a reporter. Now, this is how that exchange went.
What's up, boss? You believe that? Hold on. Oh no. Do you believe that? Huh?
Yeah.
Oh no. I read through that bull junk you wrote down. I read through that. I sifted through all that. Yeah. Oh no. Come on. Do you believe? You don't believe. You just answered it. You don't believe. Next question.
So you guys heard what Deion Sanders said, right? He completely went off on this one reporter. Now, I was listening to The Odd Couple with Chris Broussard and Rob Parker, and Rob Parker went off on Deion Sanders. So what we're going to do is play what Rob Parker said, and then we're going to come back and react to it.
I'm not going to poo-poo what they did. That's a tremendous way to come out of the gate. What they did against the runner-up in the national championship game, all of that is great. So I don't want to sound like I'm, Debbie Downer, and I'm a sourpuss, and I'm the poo-poo king, which I am. But I'm going to poo-poo this. Talk about an overreaction to one game, and it was a great one game. You don't need to do all this. I have no idea why they feel compelled to do this. There's a schedule to play. There's a reason Deion was brought in, because they had only won one game last year. So, yeah, when you win your first game and you only won one game last year, you think you're heading that way. People with the, running down to Vegas to throw their money on and on everything that's Colorado now after one game is just so typical of where we are now, Chris. Everybody just this is it. It's the recency bias. It's what happened last night is better than anything that ever happened before. And people going off the deep end to making something. Dude, this could be a great season. This also could be the only game they win all year. I'm just saying, like this could be. And I think you got to be careful. And I brought up the Indianapolis Colts, Chris, just for a reason. It's not exactly the same. Jeff Saturday hadn't coached at all. Deion's been a coach, so it's different. But I'm talking about the reaction of people after one game. And no reaction more than Bill Cowher's showed me how people get turned around and flipped overnight. Bill Cowher, a former coach, downed the whole thing idea that a guy with no coaching experience should take over an NFL team in Jeff Saturday. Chris, they won that game, and Bill Cowher flipped. Oh, he's a leader of men, blah, 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 blah. like, is this Bill Cowher who was on the other day saying, like, this is a travesty? All I'm saying is pump the brakes. Pump the brakes. I'm not buying into all of this after one game. Now they have tape, film on everybody, Chris. Now they'll adjust. Colorado's not sneaking up on anybody. Am I saying they're never going to win another game? No, that's not what I'm saying. I just think after one game, and the press conference with Deion, calling out the writers, wanting them to, cash their tickets or receipts and all this other stuff. Like that's not the writer's job to be homers and, you didn't believe. I read what you wrote. Would Deion have said that had he lost?
Well, I think,
could you one last thing, Chris? Could you have trashed Deion if they had lost that game to say, see, Deion can't coach. He's in over his head. And then you would say, no, you know what the pushback would be? It's just one game.
And I said on First Things First yesterday, I believe in Deion Sanders. I believe in Shedeur Sanders. I believe in Travis Hunter. I believe in, I think it's Dylan Edwards, the running back, or who had those 135 yards receiving. Great game by him, too. But I'm not ready to say they're going to win the Pac-12. I'm not ready to say they're going to make a playoff. They got some big games coming. They got Oregon, which is ranked. They got USC with Caleb Williams coming up, all within the next month. So we will find out in short order how for real they are. But this is what they have to beware of. Be careful about, Rob. Like Deion calling out the reporter and all the, just all the talk. If you lose, if they go, I mean, it'll start long before this, but if they finish 5-5 or 5-6, 6-5, whatever, that will actually have been a good turnaround. But Rob, whenever they lose their next game, if it's early,
yep,
they're going to be getting criticized. Now, if they go into USC 3-0, 4-0, have beaten Oregon and barely lose to USC, I mean, people are going to give them love. They're legit, and they deserve it. They're legit. But if they lose to Nebraska, right? If they lose to Colorado State, who they play after that, they going after Deion and the Buffalo. So that's what they have to be concerned about.
No, there's no doubt, Chris. And that's what I'm talking about, is that you don't need to do all that. That win, Chris, spoke for itself.
Right.
It really, really did. Like, Deion, I wouldn't have to beat my chest and tell people, look at this win and look at what we were able to do. Man, are you kidding? 21-point underdogs on the road, and you pull that off?
No
questions?
doubt.
You got questions? What questions for me? No, because that's all I would be like. Okay, no, and
no, Rob,
and I get what you're saying about his personality and all
Right.
that, but just don't put yourself into a spot, paint yourself into a corner after a game, because
Right.
there's just so many. The same way I don't think it would have been fair, Chris, had they lost 45-0, to
Right,
say
the
that
Ripper.
Deion is over his head, he can't coach, and they got a horrible roster, and his kids, the only reason his son is on the team is because he's
Right.
like, that would be wrong too.
Right. No, look, Deion it's great that he's got a joy about him, a charisma about him.
Oh, he's
even
tremendous.
when he's being arrogant, it comes off almost as fun-loving and, you know what I mean, jovial and all that. But make no mistake about it. If they go out there and lay an egg against Nebraska, people coming for you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because because of
this.
Right.
Yep.
And
They're
it'll
coming
be
for
like,
you.
and then they'll be saying it was a fluke.
Yep.
And then that'll be the excuse. Oh, see, okay, they got film on you now. Look at what Deion couldn't make any adjustments. Oh, they threw for 510 yards. They only had 170 this game.
Right.
All that. That's what'll happen. If he continues to win and they keep shaking up the college football world, you're right. He will get his due, but I just think the bravado over one game and all that it just wasn't necessary.
So you guys just heard what Rob Parker and Chris Broussard had to say, and I think Rob Parker makes a fair point, right? Because that was a close game between Colorado and TCU. TCU could have very easily won that game, right? So would Deion Sanders have gotten on the post-game interview and been so, confident about Colorado's season if they would have lost? Probably not, right? He would probably been a little bit more humble in defeat, obviously. But I gotta be real with y'all, man. This is sports. Who really gives a damn, right? Like, this is what I love, man. I love the confidence, especially knowing that everybody wanted to see him fail. Like I said, the line was -21 for TCU. Even the odds makers, ladies and gentlemen, expected Colorado to lose this game big. So I understand and I get where Rob is coming from. The way Deion Sanders reacted could rub some people the wrong way, but me personally, man, I loved it. I ain't gonna lie, man. I love the energy. So what I want from you guys is to come into the comments down below, man, and let me know what you guys thought about what Rob Parker had to say. Do you think Rob has a point? Do you think Deion could potentially be setting himself up for failure if things don't go the way that he's anticipating for Colorado this season? And like I said, they will be taking on Nebraska this weekend. So that's really all I got on this topic. Do me a favor, come into the comments down below and let me know what you guys thought. And I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. This was another installment of The Locker Room. Peace.